Hey, what's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Today, we're going to start breaking down every single aspect of this Alabama Crimson Tide versus LSU matchup. And today, we start off leading the series with the Alabama passing game going against the LSU Pass defense. We have to start out with Tua Tagovailoa. Now, on Wednesday, Nick Saban said it would be a game-time decision if Tua Tagovailoa would be starting against LSU. We're going to say he's going to play on the season. 88.5 grade out. 2,100 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, rating of 212.4, 309 yards per game. Now we got to look at that Alabama fearsome foursome on the outside, and it starts with Jerry Jeudy, one of the best wide receivers in all of college football, PFF grade of 83.1, 52 receptions on the season. 682 yards with 8 touchdowns, real matchup problem for anybody in the country. Devontae Smith has been big time this season for Alabama, a PFF grade of 80.3, 43 receptions, 721 yards, 9 touchdowns. I mean, this is a guy that Tua Tagovailoa really likes across the middle of the field, and as we've seen, he's really emerged into one of the country's best wide receivers. Henry Ruggs, one of the fastest players in all of college football, PFF grade of 73.7, top end speed of like 25 miles an hour, something crazy like that. 26 receptions on the year, 531 yards, 6 touchdowns, also returns kicks for the Crimson Tide. Super sophomore Jalen Waddle has been electrifying this year. PFF grade of 80.7, 21 receptions on the year, 297 yards. Just get the football to him. He can make anyone miss in the country. Really electrifying player. Miller Forrestall, who's Alabama's starting tight end, will be out for this game. He has a throat injury on the season, 12 receptions, 131 yards. One of Alabama's best blocking tight ends. So this will be a big loss against LSU. Look for Major Tennyson to get the call. Alabama has also used running back Najee Harris in the passing game, 16 receptions this season, 171 yards with 4 touchdowns. I think when you talk about Najee Harris, he's a very complete back. He's a running back who can not only make you miss, but he can run over you. He has great hands, and I think that's going to increase his draft stock. It'll be very important that Najee Harris gets the football going against LSU. Now, when we look at Steve Sarkisian, who's the first-year offensive coordinator, one of the things Alabama really wanted to improve on from last season, when we look at Alabama's red zone touchdown scoring percentage, they're right at 65.7%, 25 touchdowns out of 38 attempts. You would like to see that percentage go up, but Alabama is very effective once they do get into the red zone, and that's going to be very important going against LSU. Now, when we look at the overall numbers, Alabama's passing game, 338 yards per game passing. Nationally, they rank 5th in the country. This is a team that has proven they can air it out against pretty much anyone. LSU is going to obviously be the biggest test. PFF passing grade of 81.2, and their wide receivers grade out at 89.4. Now, when you look at the LSU pass defense, it starts with their cornerbacks. Derek Stingley, he's only a freshman. Kid is an absolute baller. PFF grade 89.8. He's been targeted 49 times this season. He's allowed only 20 receptions, 4 interceptions on the season with 10 pass breakups. This is a young man that has really stepped up this season, taken hold of the corner position, and has proven that he's one of the best corners in the entire country. I know it's tough to say considering he's only a freshman, but this is how good LSU's defensive backs are, and it starts with their corner position. I think he's going to present challenges for Alabama when they play on Saturday. At the other corner position, you have KRISTIAN Fulton. He's a senior. He's a senior leader. PFF grade 85.1. He's been targeted on the season 41 times. He's only allowed 18 receptions. He has 3 interceptions on the season with 7 pass breakups. So Derek Stingley, KRISTIAN Fulton are 2 very capable corners. These are some of the best corners in all of college football. Alabama hasn't seen corners like this season. It's going to be a future NFL matchup. So much talent on the field. You throw in Grant Delpit at the safety position. He's another guy that's going to be in the NFL sooner than later. He's really a playmaker that can do it all. We've seen him make plays on special teams in the secondary. PFF grade is 76.6, 43 tackles, 1 interception. This guy is someone who changes the momentum of the entire game. Tua Tagovailoa has to know at all time where Grant Delpit is, and especially when you look at special teams. He's been known to block field goals, and you have to be concerned about a player like this. These big-time players rise up in big-time games. Grant Delpit has that special playmaking ability. Now, when we look at vulnerabilities in the LSU secondary, it could come on Jacoby Stevens. He has a PFF grade of just 66.2. He's been targeted 33 times this season, and he's allowed 26 receptions, which is a reception percentage of 78%. So if Alabama's looking to target anyone in LSU's defensive secondary, look for Alabama to figure out or try to figure out ways to get their football to the wide receivers or create matchups that are geared to expose Jacoby Stevens. So Stevens has a big opportunity in this coming game to prove that he's not a vulnerability, but Alabama should be licking their chops based on that reception percentage. Now, when we look at the overall numbers of the LSU pass defense, I think it's clear that their strength are their corners. But when we look at the overall numbers, they're allowing an average of 217.5 yards per game. They're ranked 60th in the country. Their PFF coverage grade is very high though, 90.4, and their red zone touchdown defense is allowing opposing offenses to score just 57% of the time. Very admirable number for any defense in college football. So here are the numbers side by side. We've talked about the Alabama passing game. We've talked about the LSU pass defense, but we want to hear from you in the comment box. Do you think Alabama's passing game will be too much for the LSU pass defense? Or do you think the LSU pass defense will come up big against Tua Tagovailoa and his arsenal of wide receivers? Sound off in the comment box and stay with us for our next video, which will be the Alabama ground game versus the LSU rush defense. We got a ton of coverage coming your way on BamaInsider.com. Now is a perfect time to subscribe. Free 30 days at BamaInsider.com. Promo code is Roll Tide at checkout. I'm coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We'll catch you guys soon at BamaInsider.com.